take you to the court. The trial of murder-accused Sandile Mantsoe continues in the South Gauteng High Court. You'll know that he stands accused of killing his ex-girlfriend Karabo Mokoena. eNCA's Khayelihle Khumalo is covering that story for us. Kai, good afternoon to you. And if I am not mistaken, the last time I checked in on this one, there was a police officer on the stand. Am I correct?
Yes, absolutely, Jeremy. There was a police officer who was just on the stand, and she has concluded her testimony. But, Jeremy, in the main, the bulk of her testimony was just around the discovery of the body of Karabo Mokoena. That is just not far from Sandringham Police Station. That's where she is working from. And also, Jeremy, she told the court, Officer Mokoena, that in essence, there was a statement that was written. And of course, the main issue here was regarding Sandile when he was taken to the custody following, of course, the gruesome murder and the very frantic search that was precipitated by the very, hype that was driven by this case. But Officer Mokoena, Jeremy, said at one point, Sandile Mantsoe told her that what had happened is that there was a sacrifice that had to be made. So there was a ritual that had to be carried out, and both of them, Karabo and Sandile, had crosses in their shoulders, so as a way of linking themselves. So what happened is that he told the police officer that Karabo took a knife and stabbed herself in the neck as part of the sacrifice. So he had to get the blood and also mix it with his own blood and then send it to a person referred as Master. But of course, at this point in time, Jeremy, he hasn't really divulged much about this third person now, whom the court has heard about, the person by the name of Master.
It's not the first time that we've heard about this ritual. Obviously, that was going to come out in court. But do we know the reason for this ritual? It all has to do with money problems, if I remember correctly, and the acquisition of power.
Very much so, Jeremy. Those are two main components which literally drove this sacrifice. And also, the court heard from the officer through, of course, the very particular time when Sandile spoke to the officer, where he said he was doing the forex trading. So for him to get power and also to be able to make a lot of transactions, so a sacrifice had to be carried out. But also, Jeremy, it's getting a bit complicated because also there's a reference to the effect that there was a separation that the couple was going through in terms of their relationship. Also, when they were separating, they had to sacrifice the blood as well. So hence, now the stabbing. So there was a sacrifice for the money's acquisition and also the sacrifice in relation to now the separation of the couple. So any minutes from now onwards, and in actual fact, Jeremy, it's about 2 p.m. We're expecting another police officer, Mahundla, from Sandton Police Station to also take the stand. And that's where Sandile Mantsoe was kept on the 10th of May last year. That's where he was taken to and kept in the cell.
Fairly gruesome testimony then emerging today in court, Khayelihle. Who was in court today and what sort of reaction was there?
I tell you what, Jeremy, obviously the family of Karabo Mokoena has been very consistent in terms of their attendance. And, just throughout the course of the very gory and a very quite, sad testimonies in terms of how Karabo was killed and stuff, they've just been very calm, and even her mother, and as opposed to other days, for example, when the sister was on the stand, whereby there were vortex of emotions, where the sister would broke down and seeing the proceedings adjourning. So they are very calm at this point in time, and they're really well composed.
All right, we'll let you get back into court. Proceedings due to start again at 2 o'clock within the next 15 minutes or so. And if there are further developments, you'll pop out and keep us up to date here on News.